tayo. Sabi mo nga kanina, Rob, no, saktong-sakto, yung harit na naka-retribution, ang laking impact talaga ng harit na retribution. And with that, SV will respect the harit and remove it out of the game, out of the hands of AA. Pero nakita rin kasi talaga natin kanina I completely agree doon. Medyo naging play defensive sila. Kasi napag-usapan natin kanina on that Game 1 draft na sobrang bilis ng movement dito ng SV. Hindi lang talaga nila na-pull off na maaga. Kasi tingin ko with the control as well from the jungle kay Boy Joy, kay Joy Boy pala. So tingin ko ang laking impact din nun.
Saka tama ka din sa sinabi mo kanina. They don't have like a certain crowd control. The only one that they have is coming from the Alice, which is that was like a second stand.
Yeah, mga 1 second lang yata.
After nun, wala na pwede na Pero kasi ang setup naman din kasi talaga nung lineup doon ng Team Empire was that once a time journey is in, talagang all out damage talaga yung gagawin nila. Yun nga lang, hindi nila yon na pull off. But coming here on game number 2, I'm really looking forward dito na makakita ng mga pakito. Kanina ko pa sinasabi to kay Kuya Manjin Gusto ko makakita pa ng mga pakito matches dito sa main qualifier. So yung mga bans natin was almost the same ban that we have. The only difference is tinarget na ngayon dito ng Empire yung ni Saxe, yung harit.
Yung harit talaga. Pati wala nang after that game. Kasi sobrang bilis Kumbaga, ito ko ba? Pansin ko ninerf yung harit. Ilang beses nang ninerf yung harit at hindi siya nakrisip ng buff. Tingin ko ang ginawa talaga ang main role ng harit ngayon is early game is to remove all the outer turrets. Map control ang binibigay dito ng harit. And also given, siguro dagdag na lang yung Zaman Force na slow, plus yung chrono dashes when it comes to team fight. Pero more on solo damage kasi siya So ang ginagawa dito ng SV is, ng harit is to control, remove all the turrets and then take advantage of the energy shields. Kaya nakikita natin na mataas yung power spike ng harit ngayon, which is also a really good ban for SV.
And as per Archangel, there were the few teams are actually using harit as a jungler kasi most of the time you see the harit has been used on the gold lane or rather XP lane, either of the two of the side lanes. But going back into the draft ngayon, TDC, look at here the ban of Empire is na directly it's actually a reactive style ngayon ang kanilang ginagawa on the banning phase. They remove the harit, they remove here yung mga naging problema nila during game number 1, specifically itong Johead na to with the ejector. Kasi kanina hindi naman pwedeng laging times journey kada ejector di ba? Pero that was kumbaga that's for the books already for the side of Team Empire. Now they have the opportunity to pick here such as Brody was banned, Esmeralda was banned. Who do you think was gonna be the first pick ngayon dito ng Team Empire?
Tol, tingin ko yung Parsa Kasi mainit ang Parsa ngayon. Imposible. Pati Benedetta hindi na naman napili. Pero ang Benedetta kasi, napapansin ko laging red team ang kumukuha ng Benedetta. Benedetta +1. Kasi kung ipa-priority mo yung Benedetta, mas madali siya ma-counter pag wala kang second pick So,
yes.
I think Parsa is a safe pick here para sa... Thank you.
They heard you right, TDZ. Farsa, and if I'm not mistaken, Farsa is also one of the best pick din kasi nung kanilang mid-mage. Yan, si Imba or si Verio is gonna be using it right now. Meanwhile, on Archangel, now, Benedetta, you mentioned it earlier, Benedetta +1, and the question is, kung kukunin nila yung Benedetta, what's gonna be it for the +1? Will Archangel be the one to use the Basha over here on the Team Empire, or the Sylvana is actually gonna be a good pick dito for Archangel?
Mas safe yan. Tingin ko kasi mas pwede niyang mahabol. Maraming capability yung Sylvano na makahabol kapag nag-wings by wings. Dito yung Parsa. Again, Imperial Justice to close the gap and then Cometic Lance kung sakali. Or go for the Cometic Lance first then dash then to Imperial Justice. And with that, ito nang yung nagiging +1 dito ng AA on top of the Benedetta.
Ang dami ding reach dito for the side of Archangel. Saka kung iisipin mo in terms of having a Sylvana, napaka broad or rather napaka-versatile ng type ng draft na pwede nyong gawin talaga whenever you have this Sylvana. You could go for a draft na pwedeng puro AOE. You could go for a draft na pwede kayong panghuli nyo gagamitin yung Imperial Justice wherein pwede nyong ma-burst down kagad yung mga heroes na with high mobility. Like for example, a Lancelot, even a Ling, or even Hayabusa. Yung mga ganong klase ng mga hero. But for the side of Team Empire, they're still gonna be picking once again, they'll be going for the Digi and the Claude.
So tingin ko parang ito na yung magiging ngayon, kapag merong Claude, merong Digi to protect. Pero I completely agree. Tingin ko napakagandang pick din dito against Sylvana. Nakita natin yan nung M2. Talagang napakalaking counter because again Sylvana shines on the mobility as well, but he will risk to use his skills after that. So kapag meron nahuli ng isang Imperial Justice, recta times journey. Kapag kung sakali makatakas, isang reverse time ka agad, and I think that is really efficient for SB to pick that Diggy as soon as possible. Kasi kapag naban siya agad with this current draft from AA, ang laki, ang taas ng physical burst ng AA ngayon.
Sobrang sakit ng physical damage indeed talaga dito ng Archangel, and given at the heroes dito ng side ngayon ng Team Empire, this is the Farsa, this is a Claw jungler, and yes, pwedeng mag-build dito ang Diggy ng tank items, but in terms of scaling, the Hayabusa would always outbest dito yung mga squishy heroes ngayon dito ng Team Empire. So, kita mo na ito na yung most likely gonna be the trio for the side ngayon ng Team Empire. Itong Diggy na to would be their support tank in a sense, and as well, itong Farsa, well, do you think there's a possibility that this Farsa na ginagamit ng ibang teams going for like XP lane? At pwede pang posible na pumik dito ng ibang mage, pero I doubt no? Kasi parang in terms of the way ang draft natin ngayon is that Team Empire would probably go for a certain fighter like a Yuzhong, or pwede rin Lapu-Lapu once again, or the Basha is already been banned ngayon dito ng Archangel. So, I'm really leaning towards dito for Team Empire to be picking a fighter to be able like a pseudo tank for them on the mid game.
I completely agree, and you might be right on that one na pwedeng siyang maging side lane sa XP lane kasi nagsashine talaga siya once na nakakuha agad siya ng level 4. Kung sakaling papwesto si Farsa sa XP lane, ang bilis ng rotation dito ng Empire, and I think it is also enough if they will go for the Farsa side lane para matulungan dito yung Claude na mabigyan ng space sa jungle area nila. I completely agree there, that is also possible. Kaso ang magiging risk dito sa AA is medyo matatagalan yung rotation dito kasi dulo-dulo ang magiging side lanes, ang magiging lakad dito, or rather lipad ng Farsa kung sakali. So, looking at AA naman, ang taas ng nila, physical burst nila, amplifying with the passive of Sylvanas, talagang masakit.
This is very scary indeed for the side of Archangel dito, TDC. Why? Even on level 1, they could potentially get a pick-off dito, mga kaibigan. This Khalid, probably Fall will once again use this one. And alam mo naman, during level 1, specifically pag-execute din yung gagamitin dito ng Khalid, either even kahit nga ang gamitin niya pa dito is flicker Pagka tumama sa iyo yung Desert Tornado, na even yung tatlong slashes nun, talagang makakaramdam ka talaga. Leeg talaga ang tama. Oo.
Kumbaga bawat ikot, tsak, tsak, tsak. Yung panghuling-huli, sobrang sakit pa naman nun. Pero kidding aside guys, masakit talaga ang control dito. Pwede siya mag-execute, pwede siya mag-flicker, pero with the current lineup of SB, I think it is wise for him to use the flicker to at least close the gap. Pero ang sagot dito ng Empire, gusto niyo pumasok, gusto niyo makipagbakbakan ng fighter para sa Khalid, bibigyan namin kayo ng malademonyong thumbs, and also si Little Red Riding Hood, si Ruby lalabas dito. Tingin ko, crowd control, Ruby is a very nice pick here. Again, yung second skill niya, Don't Run Wolf King, is enough to pull, or at least, since melee heroes ang karamihan dito ng AA, he can take advantage of that, and also yung ultimate niya, yung I'm Offended, Karet, papasok sa Torre with the flicker combo.
Bawal ma-offend yan si Ruby
Bawal ma-offend.
Hahatakin ka niya sa loob ng Torre.
Tapos melee heroes lahat ng AA. Really looking good here, guys, for Team Empire. At tingin ko, this is a possible, really effective draft if they can pull it off successfully. Sicilian. Tingin ko okay din to. Kasi more on lifesteal ang ganap ang andito. More on lifesteal and shield regeneration sa side ng Empire, and that was one of the best mages na pwede mag-apply niya.
Saka interesting din sa akin dito yung for the side of the Team Empire, kung paano yung magiging sustain nila. Kasi itong dalawang side lane nila dito will just have to stay on the lane. Meanwhile, itong Farsa na to will be holding on onto the mid game, onto the mid lane dito ng side ng Team Empire. So, we're really leading towards dito na for the side of Team Empire to be able to hold the early game and going into mid game, and probably enough na yung maging item doon ng Claude to be able to dish out damage para dito sa aggression na ipapakita. So, tingin ko dito TDZ, Archangel will be the one to attack first or rather to take objective. Nagawa nila to during game number 1 and they could potentially do it once again here on game number 2.
I completely agree. At talagang ang taas din talaga ng physical burst dito ng AA. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn. This is game 2 ng ating match number 2. SV versus AA sa red side at looking really good. Sabi mo kanina, Kuya Rob, talagang more on impact, high impact games ang stored natin ng dalawang teams dito para sa atin. Escalera against Very 2018 sa mid, Ninja Killa plus Bullwhip naman sa top lane, and Ambush 3435 at Paul naman sa bottom lane. So we're seeing a lot of early rotation here and also the bombs being placed here in the middle lane para ma-prevent yung mga rotation ng A.
This is a very rare na makakita tayo ng Cecilio na highly high tier matches natin, and interested talaga ako dito. Most specifically kung paano yung magiging approach dito ni Escalera going into the early game. So ang mangyayari dito, TDZ, i-hold lang both of the mages dito yung gitna, and I think baka magkaroon tayo dito ng medyo slow phase in terms dito sa momentum.
Tingin ko rin talaga kasi more on late game, especially for the Claude sa side ng SV, the best thing that they can do is to protect. Nakita natin, that's also one of the reason why na pinili nila si Diggy para Diggy na nakatang emblem plus tenacity, and meron din siyang AG. So talagang pinakunat niya yung Diggy nila. All protect, support Diggy dito para mabiglan ng mas magandang farm or ng space dito sa ubusan Arlac. So yeah, I completely agree. Late game kasi mayroon din kailangang stacks dito sa Escalera for the Sicilian.
Totoo. And well, as the game goes by in terms of pagka nag-scaling na tayo, so pwede rin natin i-consider na pwedeng main damage dealer dito ng side ng Archangel dito si Escalera. But unfortunately, yung Farsadon, kuya TDZ, he was got picked off by Saxa.
Napakagandang first blood dito sa side ng AA. Tulad na kanina, with the shadow kill plus the quad shadow, he can easily go in and get out of any skirmishes. At mukhang nakakalamang dito ang AA. Ang bilis maubos ng HP ng Turtle, Kuya Rob.
And that's one of the strength, of course, ng isang Hayabusa na nagsisnowball talaga early game, and now, delikado na naman dito si Extension as he's about to fall.
Joy Boy with a spiral, strangling, huling-huli kahit gaano kakakunat, pag umistak ang aking passive, lalambot at lalambot ka rin at naging kakabalik niya rin din sa middle lane. So I think that's also one of the best ways kung bakit nagdidigi sila, laging nandun yung presensya ng digi ni Extension every single time. And I think that is also enough for them to follow this Claude whenever he's farming.
Kailangan lang talagang i-hold to ng Team Empire. We actually know his their winning condition dito. It wasn't the early game, hindi rin naman kailangan makipagsabayan dito talaga ng Team Empire. They have their own power spike. That is, pag nakapag-farm na dito yung Claude, hindi kailangan lang maging tanky nung dalawang sustain heroes dito on the side lane dito ng Team Empire, and let alone wag ma-pick off. Kumbaga, ang gagawin dito ng Team Empire, i-hold lang nila to, parang ita-turtle it out nila to the point na pagka reliable na yung damage dito ng Claude, doon na lang sila sasabay or probably get an awkward engagement para sa side dito ng Archangel at pwede nila yung i-punish.
Yeah. Again, look for any opening, sabi nga dito ni Rob, para sa side ng Empire, at yun yung possible way for them to punish this rotation from AA. But talking about rotation, Imperial Justice, mukhang nahuli dito. I'm offended. Plus, the damage from the Don't Run Wolf King, enough to take down Saxajago and stop him from snowballing. Pero si Bullwhip talaga dito, ang ganda ng pagkakahatak nyo dun sa loob.
Yes, yun yung mga engagement na kailangan gawin talaga. So, in terms of sa boxing dito, Kuya TDC, kumbaga counter puncher kasi dito ang Team Empire. And yun yung mga kailangang iwasan dito ng Archangel, yung maging masyadong sabihin na natin maasi, maging overly aggressive. Kasi itong early game na to, hawak na nila to pero hindi nila pwedeng basta-bastahin dito ang Team Empire. Kumbaga, kailangan lang nilang hanapin dito yung power spike nila. I think this is the right moment, or probably kung meron silang ipipick up, probably the Tamos is the best option compared to a Ruby.
Totoo yun. R to the E spec para sa side ng SV. Again, mga kaibigan, nakadalawang Festival of Blood dito ang both fighters ng Empire, at kapag sila nagkaroon ng stack, mahihirapan ang AA dito when it comes, or once we went to our mid-game to late-game fights. Si Saxajago naman nakakapagkaroon ng magandang farm. He went for the Warrior Boots, but ang ganda rin ang position dito sa side ng Turtle. Pero tingin ko may idea dito ang SB, but are they able to catch up? Napakaganda feathered airstrike dito, pero wala silang ultimate and they are way too late. Another Turtle has been taken sa side ng AA at unti-unting lumalayo ang net worth dito sa side ng AA. 13.3 against 12.5 ng SB.
Tingin ko Kuya TDC, it's an even trade eh. Yes, nakuha doon ng Archangel yung Turtle, but they actually get a pick off doon kay Ninja Killa.
Oo nga,
'di ba? So medyo hindi rin umabot, hindi rin kakayanin yung ng quick sand guard talaga. Wala na, technically wala na nga siyang time na gamitin yon dahil yung burst potential ngayon dito ng Team Empire malakas na rin talaga. Now meanwhile onto the top lane ngayon, ito ang tricky ngayon dito for the side of Archangel eh. Kailangan nilang hanapin yung time kung kailan nila kailangan makapag-push. At yun yung yun yung magbibigay talaga ng malaking lead dito for Archangel. This might be it, Kuya TDZ, as they already secure a kill dito ngayon sa TAMS.
Sa TAMS ang nahuli, 13 seconds sa side ng ni Ambush 3435. But ang ganda ng combo nun nakita natin na lagi apat ang umiikot or tatlo pala ang umiikot dito sa side ng AA para ma-help or ma-assist nila yung stacks dito ng Cecilion. At kapag nagkaroon siya ng maraming stacks at pag nag-overflowing na or nag-overflow na ang kanyang overflowing, mas masakit yung damage ng kanyang Bat Feast. So, nako, tingin ko sobrang hirap niyan. Kailangan talagang i-take advantage ng SB yung oras nila na mag-apply ng pressure para sa AA.
Kumbaga ako yung EDC, super overflow na yun kasi nag-overflow na ang overflowing. But speaking of overflowing, nag-overflow na ngayon dito ang giggle ng Archangel as they are the one to get the first turret here on the bottom lane. Kailangan lang nilang ulit-ulitin to kay TDZ.
Rinse and repeat.
They could get a pick off, then from there, convert it into a push. Hindi kasi pwede yung pag-pick off nila, babalik sila sa jungle nila, babalik sila sa pagpa-farm kasi nakakasabay dito in terms of gold dito ang Team Empire. This is a 2,000 lead, pero this is still manageable on their side.
Nako, talking about managing the rotations here and also the objectives. Umikot dito, feathered airstrike, enough ba yun para mapatay na si Ninja Killa? Ninja Killa lumuhod, pero na-takedown agad nila yung Claude. Ubusan, Arlak will go down, Ninja pero yung damage pa rin in the Turtle objective has been taken out by Saxajago. 1-for-1 casualty, pero tingin ko, Kuya Rob, lumamang dun yung AA kasi na-take down nila si Ubusan Arlak.
Yes, that's definitely a favorable trade coming from Archangel. Muntikan pa ngang mabuhay doon si Yasuo or Ninja Killa. Kasi, nakapag-quick sand guard pa siya, buti na lang yung Tamus, zinone out yung ibang members dito ng Archangel. Kasi kung nakapag-back up doon sa Khalid, tingin ko baka na-turn around pa nila yun
Napakalaking possibility talaga. Pati Rob, hiwala yung fight, dalawang laban, isa sa may turtle area, nung na-take down nila si Ninja Killa, na umikot din naman agad yung Team Empire. So talagang lamang lang talaga sa position dito ang AA when it comes to that skirmish.
And that is something na ayaw mong mangyari if you are on the shoes of Team Empire right now, TDZ. Bakit? Kasi itong si Ubasan Arlak, itong Claude na to, ito yung pinaka-alas nila dito. He will be the main damage. Of course, he's the jungler sa kanya lahat ng farm. Kumbaga, ang kailangan lang gawin ng mga fighters dito ng Team Empire is to sustain. Tanggapin nyo lahat ng damage. Ako na ang magiging clean up crew nyo going on to the late game.
I completely agree. Kasi ang kailangan lang talaga ditong gawin ng SV is maghanap na magandang fight and then wait na makakuha agad ng blazing duet for them to turn things around. But talking about turning things around here, AA as well is really having a very good time, really closing up the gap with the Imperial Justice as well on the bottom lane. Ambush 3435 with the Vengeance plus the Continent Inferno. Will it be enough? The Bats has been flying. Bat Feast has been taken out or has been used to take out Ambush 3435 here. And +1 na naman sila sa turret. AA mukhang hindi humihinto. Extension, kailangan niya umalis sa may loob ng brushes at mukhang mauuli siya sa loob with the Spiral Strangling plus the Bat Feast. Hindi tumama dito yung kanyang Sanguine Claws, but with the return, initiate dito sa side ng Empire, forcing to use his Shadow Kill. And I think he's out of position here para kay Saxajago with the Quad Shadows. Enough ba yun? Mukhang mabubuhay yata siya. Hindi, sabi ni Bullwit. Be good for me, sabi dito. with the return kill as well from Escalera. Saktong-sakto ang position ng kanyang first kill dito. 2-for-1 exchange. Pero talagang ginugulo pa rin. Ini-egg dance dito ni Diggy para hindi makatakas agad si Joeboy. But that is a successful disengage sa side ng AA.
Yes, that was definitely a messy team fight of both teams. Kasi ang nangyari kasi doon, nagkamali ng BMI yung pasok doon ng Claude. That's one of the reasons na natanggal din yung kanyang Art of Thievery. Awkward na rin yung position niya to be able to use his Blazing Duet. Then parang nagkapilitan na eh. And luckily, hindi sila naubos doon kasi medyo makipot yung lugar na yun eh. We're in, yun yung pinaka gusto mo if you are Escalera, if you are the Sicilian, yung dikit-dikit yung mga kalaban mo to be able for you to deal out the maximum damage para sa mage na to. Meanwhile, wala pa nga doon si Paul eh. Kumbaga, that was a 4v5 technically match up and all the while, nagbabasag lang sa top lane yung Benedetta.
Nako, talking about Benedetta dito, 2-0-2. Meron siyang additional 10% life steal on top of the his emblem, and they will also secure another turtle. Nako, Rob, si Escalera nakuha na niya ang kanyang Holy Crystal. Tapos kakatapos niya na din makakuha yung kanyang Lightning Truncheon at talagang masakit kaagad ang damage dito ni Escalera. Ano man pwedeng gawin dito ng Empire para ma-take down tong mga heroes dito ng AA?
Well, possibly pwede nilang pasukin dito si Escalera pero kasi hindi mo naman basta-basta madidikitan kasi ang isang Sicilian eh.
Oo.
So the best thing na pwede nilang gawin dito is probably do a counter engage. Pero dahil merong Lord ngayon, they have to play it defensively, Kuya TDZ. They have to go for the minion first and make sure na walang mapipick up sa kanila on the process.
Yep, and just like so, AA nakakuha na naman ng isa. Talagang kinakat nila lahat ng waves. Top, mid, bottom, at naghahanap sila ng magandang opportunity habang si Bulwit naman 16 trying to clear out the creep wave, but onto the bottom lane. Feathered Airstrike has been used already, plus the Imperial Justice, and a nice defense para sa Team Empire. Pero kailangan nilang i-defend dito sa may middle lane as well. AA knocking through the doors of SV here, middle lane. Almost half HP. Ninja Killa lumuhod din with a quick stand guard, trying to restore most of this HP para sa next team fight.
Archangel need to respect the defense capability dito ng Team Empire. Why? Meron silang mga Feather Airstrike dito. They have a lot of AoE damage given that nandito pa rin naman yung isang Ruby. We've seen this earlier na nakakuha siya ng I'm Offended. Pwede siyang mag-hook or rather mag-site papasok ng team nila. And given that dito sa side ng Archangel, walang may Purify. If they could be able to get sack sa Jago, they could be able to take down probably Escalera inside their base. And that's gonna be a good turnaround para sa Team Empire.
Perfect call, Rob. At talingin ko, yun din talagang pinaka-effective way for them to pierce the front lines of AA. Kaso mukhang nahulit dito si Bulwit. 16 at wala ng frontliners dito. Mahihirapan mag-defend. Question mark dito ang Empire kasi because sa damage, kita mo yung sobrang sakit, subusan Arlak, kalahati ang kanyang HP niya at wala ng tier 3 tuloy dito mga kaibigan habang yung mga sideline samahan ng SB is pinupush din ng Cannon Waves. AA, mga nag-aabang na sa may labas ng main inhibitor turret dito. Escalera pumapasok din sa loob. Feathered Airstrike trying to defend their base, but will it be enough though? That's a big question, pero mukhang hindi. Ambush 3-4-3-5, popping up the Vengeance plus the Counter Inferno. Saksa Jago taking a lot of damage here, almost half HP, pero napakagandang defense din dito sa side ng Team SV. They're able to repel and push back AA to defend for another wave.
Team Empire gets to leave another team fight dito, TDZ. That was very unfortunate for the side of for the side of Team Empire dahil yung Claw doon, tinimingan yon ni Ninja Killa. Nung pag BMI niya doon din, nag-Raging Sandstorm dito yung ating Khalid, and from there, nagsunod-sunod na and na-pick off nila doon yung Claude. And now, this is a commanding lead, TDZ. That was 11,000 gold lead for Archangel. Ang kailangan na lang nilang gawin dito, they could potentially freeze the lane, hold in, hanggang makakuha sila dito ng susunod na Lord as Team Empire, they're really struggling on defending right now.
Totoo yan. At talagang tingin ko, well, totoo talaga yun, Rob, 35 seconds na lang ang next respawn timer ng Lord at kailangan talagang makipagbakbakan ka agad. Go for the high risk, high reward plays dito sa side ng Empire, tingin ko talaga. At yun ang magiging sagot para ma-repel at ma-force ng Game 3 for this match.
Kumbaga, parang nakita na rin natin to kanina, Parang isipin mo yung ginagawa nilang TP dito, parang na sila ng chakra,
Oo, parang parang kumbaga parang kay Goku, charge!
Parang nagcha-charge na rito at nararamdaman na nga dito ng Archangel ang tagumpay as they were want to secure the second floor dito mga kaibigan, but Bullwit tried to get a vision dito pero mukhang delikado yon TDC.
Tinamaan ng Imperial Justice with the feathered airstrike. Bulasan muna, sabi dito ng SP, mukhang nahuli tayo pero sandali lang, sabi ng AA, hindi naman kayo pipigilan. Ubusan, nahuli na naman 47 seconds without the Claude at double kill para kay Escalera. Extension na ang susunod. 4-4-0 exchange. At AA, binate lang namin kayo. Kunwari lang maglo-lord kami pero ito na kami. Didiretso na kami sa gitna. Hinihintay lang namin ang next minion wave. At mukhang tatapusin na yata ng Archangel ang laban. Very 2018. Kaya ba niyang i-feathered airstrike to? Pero mukhang hindi yata abot dun sa may main cannon wave. At mukhang may ipit siya sa loob. AA will win the match 2-0 against Empire.
That was definitely a YOLO play coming from Team Empire. But I guess this is the way to win din eh.